Hi there friends, we have some possibly upsetting and disturbing news for you if you are a supporter of Israel and its right to Jerusalem as its eternal undivided capital. You remember that back in 2017 President Donald Trump openly declared that the United States viewed Jerusalem as Israel's undivided and eternal capital. Well, we've just read that US President Joe Biden is planning a visit to Israel in June, and a recent report is claiming that while he's there, he will visit the eastern section of Jerusalem in a clear message of support for establishing a Palestinian capital in the Jews' eternal capital. In other words, he wants to divide Jerusalem. CNN reported on Monday that the president's office had announced unfinalized plans for the visit to the eastern section of Jerusalem. The president may visit the Al-Maqased Hospital, which is located on the Mount of Olives. It's the largest Palestinian medical center in Jerusalem, and nearly 80% of the hospital employees are residents of the West Bank who have special permits to enter Israel and work there. Now, no US president has ever visited this section of Jerusalem, and this stands in stark contrast to President Trump, who prayed at the Western Wall. There's no indication that Biden is going to do anything like that. In fact, the Biden administration has pledged to reopen a consulate for the Palestinians in the eastern section of Jerusalem after Trump closed the consulate when he moved the American embassy from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem. Barry Shaw, who is a senior associate at the Israeli Institute for Strategic Studies, criticized Biden's decision by saying, "He has also demanded that he will not be accompanied by any Israeli official, but will meet members of the Palestinian Authority who have been permitted to administer certain hospitals and schools in East Jerusalem, but who insist that their capital will be in Israel's undivided and sovereign capital, Jerusalem, even though their government and the administrative offices are in Ramallah." Now, he said this is a devious way for Biden and his State Department to get back at Israel and drive a wedge into Israel's legitimate and exclusive sovereign rights over its Jerusalem capital, following Israel's refusal to allow the State Department to open a United States consulate there to serve the Palestinians. Friends, this is shocking news that the American administration plans to divide Jerusalem. Now, we know at a time somewhere in the future during the tribulation, Jerusalem will be divided, and some of the inhabitants will even be sent into exile for a short while. And that division will cause the Lord Jesus to return. So watch this space, because things are really hotting up in these days. Following this video, we have a gospel message if you want to know how to know the Lord Jesus and be sure that you are on your way